Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom. My name is Jay Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. As a reminder, all our great listeners, we're on Anchor, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, plenty of other locations. If you're looking for us in the video format, you can find us at the A Drink of Wisdom YouTube channel. Lots of great happenings going on over there. Special guest joining us today. You may recognize him with the beard and all. It's our host, Cody Ward. Great to have you back, brother.
Oh, great to be here, man. Appreciate it. Taking me off the shelf, blowing off the dust a little bit, Life's been crazy around here, but fun to be back for the anniversary, and hey, glad to be here, man.
Great. Yeah, great to have you along. And as always, Nathan Draken in the building. What's going on with you, brother?
Man, you know what time it is, man. How everything with you, Jay? How everything with you, Cody? How y'all doing over there, man?
Doing good, man.
Doing good.
Okay. Well, as is, another day, another dollar. We got to give the streets what they need. We gonna say what they want, see what they don't. Set your plates, cause it's time to eat. And last but not least, let's talk some sports, baby. Hey, it's a new season. Let's roll, baby.
Yep, year 3. We're going to discuss the weekend in college football, preview the NFL season, and you'll get the inside scoop of my time in the broadcast booth this weekend. But we're going to start with just a general reflection segment. Haven't done this really ever on the show. We definitely skipped over it after year 1 was complete. But I just want to kind of run through and take some time to reflect on this great program that we put together. Some of the highlights, lowlights, if there are any. Drink, over to you, brother. What stands out as we enter year 3 on the mic?
Well, first and foremost, I like to say that I think at some point we must be having too much fun on this show, because they say when you're having fun, time flies. And when you brought it to my attention that we was ready for season 3, I put up a little of an argument, because I'm like, wait, I think we supposed to be doing a little more. Don't we got a couple more episodes to go? And you're like, nope. Checking the calendar right now. Yeah. We had a year, buddy. So you're gonna have to suck it up, grab your Kleenex, and move it along. It was just dusty in the room. That's all. But listen, what can I say? Year 3, we had some lows. Kobe Bryant, all that, and then we had some highs. I would say, man, for me, it wasn't as far as the episodes that we did that gave me the highs. The highs was like when we was preparing for stuff. Like, for instance, when we redid the intro, that I thought, we over here, we spinning around ideas, we kind of shooting around what we think would, catch someone's attention to, like, bring in new listeners, new subscribers, whatever the case might be. Or like, I think about times like when, I forgot what show it was, but it was a show where we had to record it a few times. We just couldn't get it right. We was stuck on, I can't, man, I wish I could remember the actual episode, but we had episodes where it was we was on the struggle bus, let's just say. Whether it was internet connections, whether it was just Zoom not giving us, Zoom giving us the business, Skype giving us the business. Oh yeah, folks, don't forget, this season we did, I think this was the season we went from Skype to Zoom. So that transaction, gave us the business a little bit. On to the first time we did our actual midnight edition of A Drink of Wisdom. So for me, man, that's what I think about. Not necessarily the topics we talked about. And listen, the growth, we have finally been able to see a little fruit of our labor, per se. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to get feedback now. We got subscribers, we got listeners. Yeah, they might not like exactly what we're saying, but hey, like Floyd Mayweather say, you know what I'm saying? The haters gotta buy a ticket too. So you know how I feel about it. The haters gotta watch the video too. So with that said, man, listen, I'm as we sit here right now, I find myself extremely blessed and happy that we was able to make it through, all the differences and everything that's going on in the world, and what they would have us to think about, what's going on, and for us to keep growing and keep moving. And we even got Cody back in the mix today, so you know what I'm saying, hey, listen, man, I can't complain, man. So with that said, man, Season 3 on the rise. We're going to step it up. We're going to figure some things out, and hopefully we can make it bigger and better and get stronger in the process. Over to you, Jay.
Go ahead, Cody.
My bad, Cody. My bad.
Yeah, man. I remember when Jay first approached me about it. I was like, I never really had done anything like this before, but it was a lot of. I think what was most fun for me was the start was a little rough because we were trying to get all the flow and how we wanted it to sound and how we wanted, what my role even was. I was like, am I going to hang out, read the intros, and let y'all go at it, and then y'all were like, no man, we want to get your opinion too. Like, why would you want that? But okay. I mean, I guess some of the individual ones that stand out was the Kobe episode was I think one of the first big viewer spikes we got was that episode. And that was obviously big for all three of us. Definitely Kobe being in our generation of players, but that episode, I remember that was a really good one. We had a lot of good recollection. We kind of had a 2-part thing, if I remember, and had like a personal reaction, and then looking at it more of a basketball perspective and Kobe's legacy. It was a good episode. But obviously, when COVID came around, I think another thing that was kind of cool was the Last Dance series. We followed that through because that also got a lot of traction, and it came at like the perfect time. Because I mean, we had enough topics to start like the whole shutting down of sports. We floated by, then it was like, boy. What are we going to keep this going? We're going to start talking about just whatever. We're going to get People magazine or something and start reading that. But those episodes turned out really good too, and that was another big jump. But overall, I also enjoyed our draft coverage the year before. We spent like, what was it, like a month and a half? We just went completely into the weeds of the draft. I like that kind of stuff. I could do that all the time, but I could tell at the end of the day, especially, was like, all right, wrap this up here.
Look, Jay, like, listen, if it ain't Green Bay, don't spend too much time on it.
Oh my gosh, the roasting, man, the roast. Oh, it doesn't get old. It really doesn't. But I mean, y'all really took the reins and took off with it since I had to, bow out my life. It's just pure nonsense every day, and but I think it's cool now. Y'all have integrated some of the more social commentary, political commentary has worked in, but it's been a really good seamless sort of transition, and you guys can have really good conversations without trying to reach through Zoom and kill each other, and both have a lot of very good perspectives on things. And I think it's hard because a lot of guys would be told, oh, just stick to sports, I don't want to hear this. But y'all do it in a way that really kind of keeps it grounded, and it works well. It really does work well. So I think that's really cool. And, wish I could have been around for more of those, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's been a cool experience, man. I'm glad it's taking off more and more for y'all, and really spreading it out and covering more bases, and it's awesome. Hope it keeps going. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, we definitely, I mean, from my perspective, I know we got no plans at all of shutting it down. I know I do. I will say, from time to time, when you don't think you're getting, the coverage and the views that maybe you think you should be, like, I mean, I think, I'll be honest with you, I think it get a little discouraging from time to time, and you look up one day and like, God, I really want to spend 3 hours today, like, working on this, because a lot of people may not understand. It is way more complicated than just hitting the record button and you see the total time of the episode. We've been pretty consistent lately. It's been about 1 hour and 15. But man, it can be, me over here for a couple hours before the show, just putting some things together, drink, for the most part, just flies by the seat of his pants. It works for him. I've actually gotten a little bit more to that way of doing things. You will know, I don't think we've had a lead in here in months. So those are improv, those are ad lib.
Not everything is ad lib, but I will say I don't spend a whole lot with the whole intro thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, I put a little work into the YouTube part of this. Man, just
that is true. That is true. Like most
first started, I used to type everything. I used to script.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
We would be over here like raring to go. George gets in 30 minutes. Gets in 30 minutes after we been talking. And then we just over here. I guess. There he is. He's typing the first one. We're getting closer. But definitely. You go back to the very beginning. We did. If you look at where we started from, and this go back, years, all the way to where we, first kind of hatched this idea. And now you look, we finally get together a couple years later, decide to do it July 26th, actually a date that we actually decided to move forward, put something together. A little over a month later, we're doing the first, I know I'm doing the first couple episodes in my Jeep. Just happened to turn out that way, but couldn't wait any longer. Had to get it going. I know we was trying to time it to where our first shows came out with the start of the NFL season. You kind of look at like where we came. Pretty shortly. 6 months in. You have some like historical things take place. With the Kobe Bryant episode, definitely stands out. It was the most difficult episode to run from an emotional standpoint. That is. That was the one time that I can remember that I was like not looking forward to the show just because it was, such an emotional topic. And then, you look at the pandemic, we still over here with it. But definitely it was a challenge. Sports get shut down and we're put in the position like, big networks probably facing this as well. Well, what are we going to talk about? And we got creative. I think at one point late, before the bubble started, I think we shut it down for like maybe a week or two, just to get a break, and like we was just felt like we didn't have enough content. But we bled the NFL draft for all it was worth, let me tell you, and it was actually turned out pretty well. I know if you look back, just going through each team and like talking about what needs they had, and like maybe I know one thing I always remember is I had big tackle out of Georgia going to Tennessee. I think his name was Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he flamed out. Like
Wilf City.
Yeah,
Wilf
this was horrible.
City out there.
But I got it right. I was like, that's the dude that maybe they should take a look at. Getting in there for Jack Conklin. But just but definitely you talk about something that stands out, and there's been a lot of roast fests on here, like Brian Gutekunst, and the Packers, and Jordan Love, and all that. Like they know
Sixers.
about it. And it's
Sixers
good
getting no mercy.
Sixers getting it. But it's definitely like, some of these things, if you go, the pandemic, you go to some of the cultural issues. Some of it is just, I know when we first started, like I definitely wanted to like stay away from that stuff. But we have gotten into the culture aspect of things. I think it's almost by, necessity, because it seems like, just the way things are set up now, just everything is inherently political. So we've taken step forwards. We've dove into topics that definitely are not 100% in the realm of sports. More and more recently, you're looking at issues of race. You're looking at medical things and vaccines and stuff we probably ain't got no business talking about. But I think we definitely bring a level of authenticity here. One of the first things I remember me and Drink talking about at one point was I don't want any of our opinions to be in a way that we have to be on opposite sides just to do that. Because I know a lot of times on this show we agree probably, I'd say, on more than half of the things we talk about, and that's probably being conservative. That's probably being a conservative estimate. But I know the disagreements and the shouting matches, a lot of times, at least for maybe big networks, that's what drive ratings. But everything is here is genuine. I know I've never had an opinion that I didn't believe in. If we disagreed, it's because it was an honest disagreement. And I know it's you look back at some of the culture topics, some of my views probably, at least today, somewhat unpopular, but it's important that we get together, have these conversations, and at least, even if we disagree on certain things, I think it's important to at least talk about it and at least try to understand where we're coming from. And we don't have to agree on everything, and we don't, but genuine conversation, and it definitely, like Cody said, it's one of those things where we've never had a topic where we got through and at the end, like, man, screw that dude for what he just said. That is, I can tell you, that has never happened, and I don't think it ever will. And obviously, I hope we have continued success, and looking forward to a lot more future episodes with y'all.